Welcome to this explainer. Have you ever wondered how brands just seem to know exactly what you want, almost before you even know it yourself? Well, today we are taking a super fascinating journey to discover exactly how brands have evolved their strategies over time to essentially get inside your head. And honestly, it wasn't always this targeted. Back in the day, it was really just about pushing a product out the door. But today, it is all about building an entire world around you.
Okay, let's dive into this and map out our chronological journey. We are going from the old days of mass manufacturing right up to our crazy modern digital reality. We'll start in the traditional era, which was completely dominated by the four Ps. Then move into the 1990s, where things shifted over to the four Cs. And finally, we'll land in the digital era, governed by the four Es. It is absolutely a fundamental shift in how businesses actually view you. So, to keep things organized, we'll break this complex evolution down into three distinct parts. First, the traditional four Ps. Second, the customer-centric four Cs. And finally, the digital four Es era.
All right, part one, the traditional four Ps. This era was entirely driven by the seller's perspective.
In this traditional era, the brand literally held all the power. The focus was 100% on what the business itself offered rather than what you actually needed. You can see this in these foundational pillars, all starting with the letter P. First is product, meaning what physical goods are we actually making? Next, price. What's the cost to stay competitive? Then place. Where exactly is this going to be sold? And finally, promotion, which was essentially a strictly one-way street of advertising, basically just broadcasting their offer directly at you. And this brilliantly illustrates how physical distribution used to dictate a brand's entire strategy. You had highly exclusive strategies. Think of Louis Vuitton, right? They were available at only a few very restricted retailers just to maintain that premium aura. But on the flip side, you had extensive strategies. Things like toothpaste and shampoo. They literally need to be everywhere at once, placed in as many physical outlets as humanly possible. Now, as the economy grew to include a lot more services, marketers realized they needed a bit more. So they added three more Ps to ensure quality. We got people, meaning the actual employees who directly affect your experience. We got processes happening behind the scenes, and physical evidence, which are those visual cues like logos and packaging that signal quality. But as you're about to see, pretty soon even 7 Ps just wouldn't be enough. Moving right along to part two, the customer-centric 4 Cs. This marks the massive paradigm shift of the 1990s. See, by the 90s, the market was incredibly saturated, and you, the consumer, suddenly had way more choices. So the spotlight naturally shifted from the product over to customer value. This is a huge direct translation hook. Brands actually stopped asking, what are we selling? And finally started asking, how does this actually solve a problem for our buyer? And that exact same evolution happened with how we pay for things. The strict sticker price evolved into the total cost of ownership. The 4 Cs framework woke up and realized that money isn't the only thing you spend. Costs now incorporated the time and the sheer effort you spend just acquiring the product. Marketers began evaluating value based on your perception of the benefits compared to absolutely everything it costs you to get your hands on it. Next up, the rigid idea of a physical place pivoted completely to convenience. Now, remember, this was the dawn of early e-commerce, so the absolute top priority for brands became making your purchase as incredibly easy and accessible as possible. So, the crucial point is how promotion transformed into communication. We moved from businesses just aggressively shouting at you through billboards to an actual two-way dialogue. Brands began actively listening and genuinely building relationships. The old monologue basically became a real conversation. Which brings us to the climax of our timeline, part 3, the digital 4 Es era. This is all about the experience focus. The digital revolution completely shattered traditional physical boundaries. Customer value became experience. Products, well, they are no longer just mere commodities anymore. They are emotional vehicles designed for delivering truly unforgettable interactions. Just think about that awesome feeling of unboxing a brand new smartphone or walking into a gorgeous flagship store. Brands design these emotional bridges on purpose because an incredible experience is quite literally the only way to foster genuine, long-lasting loyalty today. Next, cost transforms into exchange. And let me tell you, this is a massive linguistic shift. It means the concept of value extends way, way beyond a strict monetary transaction.
When you interact with a brand today, you are engaging in an exchange. You might trade your money, sure, but you are also trading your valuable attention and your time in return for information, entertainment, or even personal fulfillment.
And convenience? Well, that evolved into every place. Because honestly, convenience just isn't enough anymore. Brands must be completely ubiquitous. I mean, you expect to start shopping on your phone while riding the train, continue on your laptop when you get home, and maybe pick the actual item up in a physical store, all in one completely seamless experience. They have to engage with you everywhere simultaneously. Finally, communication levels up to become evangelism, or, engagement. The ultimate modern marketing goal is to turn you from a passive, everyday buyer into an active, rabid fan. Think of those people who proudly wear brand merchandise or constantly defend their favorite tech company online. Brands desperately want you to organically champion them to the rest of the world. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it perfectly synthesizes our entire journey. When you put it all together like a giant puzzle, it is amazing how changing single, specific words completely changed entire business philosophies. Look at it. We moved from pushing a product to providing value to curating an experience. From price to cost to exchange. From place to convenience to being every place. And from promotion to communication to evangelism. It is a perfect map of how strategy evolved just to meet you exactly where you are today.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty fascinating thought to cap off this explainer. We have traced this incredible journey from companies merely pushing products out the door, to accommodating consumers, to completely immersing us in digital experiences. But, the landscape never actually stops shifting. So as technology continues to accelerate and our digital and physical worlds just blend even further together, what comes after the 4Es? I will leave you to ponder the future of brand strategy. Thanks so much for exploring this with me today. And definitely keep your eyes open the next time a brand tries to grab your attention.